Yes, I was in the chess club.
How's it going, everyone? Biscuits here. Todd Howard. You may be familiar with that name if you are into video games. Your mind may conjure up a certain 2018 E3 showcase in which Mr. Howard walked out onto the stage, donning a legendary drop, genuine leather jacket. Complete with 16 times the detail.
16 times the detail.
That individual is a video game designer, director and producer at Bethesda Game Studios, or BGS for short. From this fortified position of power and influence, he has led the development of the Fallout and the Elder Scrolls series for many, many years, even decades. But you may still be wondering, who really is Todd Howard, and is he even human? Or is he, in fact, a synth? But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's examine the question, what is a synth? A synthetic organism, or synth, is a being that is wholly or mostly robotic, like an android. A synth can be humanoid or animal-like. This is coined from the 2015 Bethesda game, Fallout 4. In order to determine whether or not Todd Howard is a synth, we need to strategize a formula, a group of signs to test the theory. Although the government won't admit it, popular culture has provided us with some definite clues to help us identify the synths living amongst us. We have already mentioned well-known video game Fallout 4, the best Fallout game in the series, after Fallout 76. This game gives us a fascinating insight into synth lore. However, there is another popular franchise that predates Fallout 4, and that is Blade Runner. This franchise, among others, gives us some concrete signs to look for in identifying synthetic beings. In Fallout 4, you play as Nate or Nora, who have a son, Sean. You live in a small suburb of Sanctuary Hills. Unlike the previous entry, Fallout 3, in which you witness your own birth, see yourself at key moments during your childhood, and know the identities of your parents, in Fallout 4, your earliest memory is that of staring into a bathroom mirror as your spouse talks to you. This is all you know of your history. This detail is important because synths aren't born. They're created. They don't have a childhood. They don't age or grow. They are made as a finished product, and they stay the same forever. As such, they have no real childhood memories or a background. In certain cases, they are given fake memories of their beginnings. This is brought up by a character you interact with later in the game. They raise the possibility of you being a synth, and ask you the question of what your earliest memory was, casting doubt about your origin. While it is true that the vast majority of synths in Fallout 4 know that they are one, this is not always the case. In Fallout 3, a synthetic man who escaped his masters chose to have his memories replaced with fake ones in order to forget his troubled past. Further, in the movie, Blade Runner, the movie's protagonist, Detective Deckard, discusses a particular synth, known as replicants in that story's lore, with Tyrell, the owner of the corporation responsible for the creation of replicants. Tyrell stated that he began to recognize in the replicants a strange obsession, and in order to be able to control them better, started to implant false memories to give them the years of experiences that humans take for granted. These memories created a cushion or pillow for their emotions. This is worth noting, as many examples of synthetic humans have been known for displaying strong emotions, such as excitement, anger, and fear. On the subject of physical requirements, the aforementioned synth from Fallout 4, after escaping his creators, sat in a cave doing nothing for nearly a year before it occurred to him that he could define his own path in life. According to bioengineer Max Loken, synths do not require sleep at all to function properly, are completely immune to disease, and do not require the intake of food or water to generate energy for their bodies. Aside from deliberately programming a synth to have a set lifespan, they are basically immortal, as another synth from the game is known to be over 250 years old. What have we learned so far? 1. Synths possess no real lifetime memories, or only a few fake implanted memories. 2. Synths can be immortal, thus they don't age, and being machines they have no need to sleep or eat. But there are more points to add to the synth identification checklist. Synths are superior to humans. As we have already discussed, Synths don't require sleep or food and have the potential to live forever. In addition to these features, they are superior to humans in another area. Synths can be programmed to possess skills that are far beyond those of their human counterparts. For example, in Blade Runner, a certain replicant is created as a self-sufficient super soldier who is more than a match for any human, even defeating the highly trained officers sent to subdue him. Thus, synths are superior in every way, and we could expect them to view 100% success as the only option in their work. In Blade Runner, a replicant can be detected by means of a test in which emotional responses are provoked, and a replicant's non-verbal responses would differ from those of a human. Later, a version of the test, referred to as a baseline, is taken by K in Blade Runner 2049 to detect any mental or empathic damage. The test involves an interviewer rapidly making various statements or repeating certain words or phrases, with the replicant replying immediately and without emotion. Failure to do so would indicate a problem.
Officer K, D6-3.7. Let's begin. Ready?
Yes, sir.
Recite your baseline. What's it like to hold your child in your arms, interlinked?
Interlinked.
Do you feel that there's a part of you that's missing? Interlinked.
Interlinked.
Within cells, interlinked.
Within cells interlinked.
Why don't you say that 3 times? Within cells, interlinked.
Within cells interlinked. Within cells interlinked. Within cells interlinked.
You can pick up your bonus.
Thank you, sir.
What can we conclude? A synth has a baseline. There are sentences or sayings that determine whether a unit is stable or not. Finally, every synth is created for a purpose, not some vague, find your place in life purpose, but a very specific role to play in society. Unlike humans who may have many, sometimes changeable ambitions in life, synths possess a single goal implanted in their software that they would stop at nothing to achieve. So, we have pieced together our synth identification checklist. Let's run through it. Number 1. Synths possess no real lifetime memories or only a few fake implanted memories. 2. Synths can be immortal. They don't age and they have no need to sleep or eat. 3. Synths are superior in every way and view 100% success as the only option in their work. 4. A synth has a baseline. 5. Synths are created for a specific purpose. Okay, let's begin. We'll examine how Todd Howard holds up in each point, and use the facts to determine whether Todd is in fact a synth. Looking at our first point, synths possess no real lifetime memories or only a few fake implanted memories. According to the completely reliable and trusted internet site, Wikipedia, Todd Howard has a backstory. He had a family and attended several schooling institutions. Seems pretty normal so far, right? Well, upon closer inspection, you notice a few suspicious details. Todd Howard doesn't have an exact age. It's stated that he may be 51 or 52. Why the inconsistency? Well, remember that synths are built, not born. It would make sense that no one knows Todd's true age, as there would be no hospital record of Mr. Howard's birth, because it didn't happen. But we are getting ahead of ourselves. Let's look more closely. In his bio, it states that he was activated in 1994, but he was born in 1970, so he wasn't an active person before 1994? Why? Because his initial design was conceptualized in a robotics lab in 1970, and over the years his design was finalized and his construction completed in 1994, and later that year he was activated. This detail ties in with our last point on the synth identification checklist, so we will get back to that point a little later. Moving on. Synths can be immortal. They don't age and they have no need to sleep or eat. Recall that synths do not age. To analyze this point, a simple visual examination is all that is required. For example, take a look at this photograph of Todd Howard in 2010. Now take a look at this photo of him in 2021. 11 years have passed, and no difference. But you may say, 11 years isn't that much. Very well, I will indulge you. Here is an earlier photo of Todd. By my estimates, this was taken in 1994, on the exact day of his activation. By way of comparison, let's examine one of his human companions from BGS. Pete Hines. Here's a picture from around 2008, and here's one from 2018. See the difference? Humans age. Todd does not. Also, have you ever seen Todd eat or sleep? I haven't, and I'm willing to bet neither have you. I can recall him drinking once, but I'm guessing that it was only part of the deception to fool us into thinking he was a human. Synths are superior in every way and view 100% success as the only option in their work. This one is a bit trickier to identify, as Todd is not just going to come out and say, "Hi guys, I'm Todd the Synth and I view 100% success in my mission as the only option." But I have come across two examples that give us some evidence. If you follow internet gaming culture, you will be familiar with a statement spoken by Todd in a 2015 conference in which Fallout 4 was announced. In this speech, he stated of his product that it just works.
All of this just works. And then you run wires that connect them all, and again, it just works.
Clearly the statement of a synth who has no concept of failure in any of his productions. Humans would say something like, "I hope this works," or "I hope this will work." But Todd doesn't have that mentality in his programming, because he can't not be 100% successful all the time. In this second example, Todd briefly mentions his gaming achievements in the 2012 DICE keynote. In this, he refers to his 100% unbeaten record on the NCAA football game, in which he has won the championship every year. Every year. Who does that? Humans? No. Very synth-like behavior indeed. Also, Todd Howard has been given the nickname God Howard by fans. Gods are known for their superiority. Coincidence? Maybe, maybe not. Fourth point, a synth has a baseline. These are sentences or sayings that determine whether a unit is stable or not. We mentioned before that in the Blade Runner series that units have a baseline, or a certain word or phrase that they will repeat when prompted during a post-mission examination. This was demonstrated well by Kay in Blade Runner 2049.
Thank you, sir.
With this in mind, does Todd have a baseline? Are there any key words that he repeats relentlessly to establish his baseline? After watching countless hours of Todd Howard in operation, I believe I have found it.
Skyrim. Right. Skyrim next. And Skyrim. The Skyrim. It's Skyrim.
Skyrim. By repeatedly using this word, Todd Howard is establishing his baseline. Synths are created for a specific purpose. Okay, to tie in that last thought that we mentioned in point 1 about Todd's year of activation, what year did Todd infiltrate BGS? 1994. The same year as his activation. But it gets more interesting. According to the Todd law, Mr. Howard tried on several occasions to join the ranks at BGS, but was rejected at least twice. But due to persistence on his part, he was eventually hired. The company didn't want him. Why did they break and hire him on the third attempt? I say that they didn't. They never wanted to. Please bear with me as I go on a speculative ramble for a few seconds. We know Todd was activated in 1994. But what if that wasn't the first Todd? What if there were many Todds before the current version of Todd that we know today? We are now getting into another Todd Howard conspiracy theory, the multiple Todds theory. This theory states that there are in fact a number of Todds in activation at any given time, and they are all in constant communication with each other so as to prevent anyone from realizing that there are more than one Todd together at once. Think about it. Todd runs BGS. He is also in charge of multiple studios under the BGS sphere of influence. He attends many events and interviews. He is reported as running a normal human family, I assume to support his origins cover story. Actually, to mention it, Todd is reported to have a son. Do you know who else had a son? The sole survivor from Fallout 4, who was a synth, probably. Connections. Anyway, Todd has been confirmed to be running multiple game developments, a Fallout TV show, as well as having a personal life, not to mention many board meetings and other things. How is it possible for a single human to be in all of these places at once? The answer is clones. Todd Howard clones. How many there are of these, we don't know. But getting back to point 5, I think that there were several earlier prototype Todds who attempted to infiltrate BGS, but were denied access by the then existing management, probably because they were less sophisticated versions of the current Todd model. After some time, the robotics company manufacturing the Todds perfected their Toddotype, and the current version of Todd that we know about today gained access to BGS and systematically took over, rose to the top of the food chain, and began to spread his influence and control over the gaming industry with Todd clones. Is gaming the only target, or are they planning to take over other businesses, education systems, the government, the world?
Nothing stands between me and that secret formula now. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Ha ha.
Maybe. So this is Todd Howard's specific purpose, at least for now, to dominate the gaming world. But as I mentioned at the beginning, Todd Howard is a giant among gaming giants. We may think we know who Todd really is, but it's possible that he is hiding many dark secrets, such as being a synth, and controlling a vast network of Todd clones. Of course, this is just a theory, and I'll let you decide what you think is true. All I wanted to do is present the facts. Is Todd Howard a synth clone? Thank you for watching, and have a great day. Of course, I'm only joking. I don't really think that Todd Howard is a synth. He's really a physical manifestation of a Daedra prince intent on gaining full control of Earth's gaming industry.
That's great.
Bye.